Hello, one and all, and welcome back to the Three Digit World Cup. Here we are with one of our final matches of the weekend. It's going to be Austria-Hungary versus the United Kingdom. United Kingdom overcoming a pretty large deficit in their last match, which seems to be continuing with the story of missing players in Austria-Hungary on their Cinderella run. Nobody expected them to even qualify. There's discussions, four-man teams not really going to be making it too far in this tournament, but Austria-Hungary being a force to be reckoned with, taking out Romania in the process in their last match of this weekend. And now we get to see them on the head-to-head. The only switch up with rosters this time, speaking of four-man rosters, is going to be Easy Champ, still not present. Bubble Man is here, but Schiazzo will be taking his place on the bench, which is of course you never want to see missing players happen, but it does if anything kind of even the odds of this matchup. I feel like the pick strategy for United Kingdom is going to remain mostly the same, picking into a lot of these hiddens, a lot of these gimmick maps, as Romania found success with those hiddens in their matchup as well. So having them still in that back pocket, having Bubble Man here means that the mechanics don't have to be outright banned, but we could see similar flow aim bans come out. Something like that free mod 2, which Austria-Hungary were very strong on last time. I could see being a ban for that United Kingdom since they banned it last time against that Brazil team as well. Could be a fun one. Excited to see whose story will continue. Of course, this being a losers bracket matchup. And that is not what we like to hear. 3 players is not what I was anticipating. I wonder who the third player is that could be missing. Mahmoud is certainly here, so it's either Listia or Haunt missing. In terms of head-to-heads and maps won, they had a very similar scoreline for the Hard Rock 3. They were only 10k score apart on that Hard Rock 3 pick, which was a pick that was the breakpoint that decided the match for Brazil in their last matchup. So United Kingdom looking maybe not to ban that, but it will be a coin flip map to look out for. Timer being put on, so waiting until 10, which works fine for me because I am awaiting my co-commentator, so he has to finish up his next match, gives me some time to chillax on my lonesome. It does seem like those gimmick picks are going to remain true for the UK side. Something like that mind mapping pick was really strong for Romania, with Badu hopping on that easy mod for the multiplier. It just seemed like on these low AR picks, they get a little bit third man, this Austria-Hungary team. Fedora Goose not having the best of times with that map, maybe getting a little bit of practice in, looking to up that score line for him. The hiddens, of course, equally as strong. 2 million team score just about for the UK side there versus the Austria-Hungary's 140k, or 1.4 mil, sorry. And joining me now, gonna be co-commentator Dio. I'll give you a little bit of a run up. We are missing 3 players on the UK side right now, and we know
Oh,
Schiazzo and Easy Champ are 2 of them.
oh, okay. Well, that's an interesting start to the match. Yeah, I just came from grand finals in my own tournament, so I am definitely a little bit coming down from some interesting matches. It does look like they are gonna wait until 10 past the hour here for the UK members to join in before we get started with this match. So this is kind of an interesting match, right? The UK, they already beat Brazil to get here. Austria-Hungary is a team that was seeded 15th out of qualifiers, and they are still in it right now after losing their first round matchup, right? I think expectedly against the United States, seed number 2, beating Finland, seed number 10 in tiebreaker last weekend, and then now beating Romania in the first round of losers bracket this weekend, and so outperforming their seeding, beating Romania 7-4 and making it here versus the United Kingdom. This is a good performance here so far from Austria-Hungary, from a team that I think a lot of people would have expected not even to get into the top 12, now currently in the top 8 fighting for top 6.
Yeah, in that prediction stream, I mean, like, to get here, Austria-Hungary qualified over strong teams like Indonesia, like China, that like have qualified year after year, but Austria-Hungary gonna be taking their spot this time. I don't think anybody predicted them to qualify, so it's really exciting to see Defi and the crew really lock it in and overcome the seed deficit.
They're also only 4 players, right? Their
Yeah.
team is Fedora Goose, Z9A, Z10A, and Defi. And that's it. They don't have any other players on this team. So for them to get this far into top 8 with only a 4-player roster is really, really impressive. I'll remind people that China did not put together a full roster this year as well. They still had Crystal, they still had David, they still had Midsi and Ladofox. They did not even qualify for this tournament. This is the only 4-player roster in the tournament. There are a couple of 5-player rosters like Romania, though no longer for Romania, and for Greece as well, who did manage to qualify, but did not make it past losers bracket round 1. So this is the only team without a full roster left in the tournament, and them getting here is really, really impressive, considering both the initial seeding and them having to go entirely through losers bracket to get here, as well as the fact that they just don't have a full roster, right? You only have 1 player to sub out on every map, right? So you're looking at perma lobbying some players maybe for this team.
For sure. It feels like Z9A being in for every map in their last matchup, as well as this United Kingdom team feeling kind of similar with the way they have not had their full roster in for any one match in this tournament, with some of them going to lands or in the way of Schiazzo having some form of schooling. Easy Champ apparently hasn't replied to a message in a few days, so it's been hard straits for this UK team as well, just not having a full roster for any one match.
It looks like they are perhaps still missing some players for the UK. It is 9 past the hour at the moment, with about 20 seconds to spare. So is the UK going to play it out with just 3 people? Are they going to get us started here? I'm hoping so. I'm hoping we still get the match. There is a chance that more people show up partway through as well. So potentially they can play through part of this match to get us started by just 3 people themselves. If not, it'd be a bit of a tragedy to see a forfeit in the semifinals losers bracket. So hopefully they are going to be able to play this out. Looks like we have at least Bubbleman, Mahmood, and Listia here. So they technically can play, right? They do have 3 players. They can play.
And that's a fine trio to have on some of these Nomad picks at the very least. I mean, like, of course, they'll have a little bit third man syndrome, maybe on some hard rocks or some speed, but not a bad roster for a good majority of the consistency picks. The hidden's going to be fine for them, I think.
All right, it looks like they do have 4 now, so we are going to get started. A little bit late, albeit, for this match, but we are going to get started now and see where they want to go here. Throughout the rest of the matches so far, Austria-Hungary has been generally pretty solid, if memory serves, on some of the hard rocks and on some of the mechanics picks and some alt as well. UK, I haven't watched a lot of their matches, but generally a very solid hidden reading team. Does have some good DT prowess and a very solid aim team as well. So there's a little bit of overlap there, but slight differences in what kinds of mechanics maps these teams prefer, with Austria-Hungary being a little bit better on some of the finger control stuff, some of the long stream stuff, and UK being a little bit better on some of the aim and hidden in particular.
Yeah, their last matchup, they won almost exclusively hiddens and free mods, with the exception being that breakpoint at the tail end, the HR3. It does feel like bans will remain similar in this matchup as it was in the last, with the long stream being mentioned. United Kingdom, not really a fan of something like a free mod 2, free mod 1, which were their bans last time. So those longer stream picks unlikely to remain on the table, I would imagine, especially with this Austria-Hungary team being favored towards them.
All right, UK going to take the second ban, and so Austria-Hungary here starting us off with the bans. Kind of expecting maybe a hidden 3 ban, maybe a Nomad 1 ban from Austria-Hungary to start things off. And no, it is not United Kingdom ban. It is Austria-Hungary ban. Maybe there's some messages missing, but yeah, that is nope. Yep, it is going to be Austria-Hungary ban. And we'll get started with those. I feel like the Hidden 3 is a particularly good ban for Austria-Hungary because it can also bait out stuff like the Free Mod 3 as a pick or the Nomad 5, which I feel like Austria-Hungary is a little bit better on those than would be easily given away. It is going to be the Hidden 2 ban to start off things for Austria-Hungary. So getting rid of the high spacing flow aim hidden pick, which I think also makes sense. The UK generally a better hidden team than Austria-Hungary, and so any of those hiddens are going to be decent bans for Austria-Hungary, though I do think if you're going to leave one up, should be that hidden one. It is the most straightforward pick.
For sure. I could see a double hidden ban here, with hidden 3 being the next, or Free Mod 3 being the next, sorry. Hidden 3 feels a lot more volatile of a map of the two of them, both of them being this AR8 kind of aim focus. But on a mind mapping last time, the team score for the Austria-Hungary side was only 1 mil versus the United Kingdom's 1.8. So that's large enough of a deficit to think that Hidden 3, with its volatility, has a little bit more of an opening for the Austria-Hungary side.
Well, they're going to leave up that Free Mod 3. It's going to be the... Oh, nope, actually, they are going to ban it out. UK banning out the Free Mod 1 and Free Mod 2, just banning out 2 tapping maps in a row there, with the more speed-focused Free Mod 1 and the more streams, stamina, and flow aim-focused Free Mod 2. And Austria-Hungary banning out the Free Mod 3. So, yeah, going to be leaving up the Hidden 3 alongside that Hidden 1. So both maybe potential picks for the United Kingdom in this match. And now UK with the first pick, as Austria-Hungary chose second pick a little bit earlier on here. I'm expecting one of the hiddens just based off the bans, right? Hidden 2, free mod 3 bans really make you think that hidden 3 or potentially no mod 5 are good opening picks. But if you're not going to go for one of those, then I feel like stuff like the honestly, what else do you go for here? Potentially the No Mod 4 for the UK. Potentially something like the Hard Rock 3. They did have a good team score on that beforehand in their match versus Brazil. Ended up winning the match on that map. So I think there's a couple of other options here, but I really like the Hidden 3 and the No Mod 5 early on here for the UK.
For sure, I would be agreeing there. Even something like No Mod 2 with the more like peckish streams there that was banned against the United Kingdom last time, so something like that could be kind of strong for them since it isn't particularly stamina heavy. It's more focused on that flow difficulty than anything else. Free mod 4 as well, being picked by United Kingdom in the last match. Got the nut here to Hidden Hard Rocket, but sure will be filled just fine by Bubble Man, I would imagine. It's going to be HR3 first pick, and that is a decision. I was talking about before you entered, that map only has 10k score of difference between these two teams, both of them getting 1.57 and 1.58 respectively. So very volatile map, or very close map on head-to-heads with these two teams.
Yeah, it is, looking at the past results, very, very close between these two. I feel like part of the reason you might pick this as the UK is just lacking members, right? Not being able to get a ton of members together for the UK here. So potentially just picking what feels best for the members on hand, as sometimes that's all you can really do if you are missing members, right? If your team is built around having pretty much everyone there, and then suddenly you just are missing 2 players, it's not always the best on some of these maps. The UK last time around did run with Haunt, Mahmoud, and Listia, so likely to be these 3 once again. And Austria-Hungary formerly running with that'd be Z10A, Defi, and Z9A. So likely to be the same for them as well. See if they end up making any changes, but this Austria-Hungary roster, there's only so many changes they can make, right? Are you going to keep are you going to keep the same roster, or are you going to put Fedora Goose in for somebody? There's not that many changes they can make.
Yeah. And there's the man, the Z duo, gonna be taking over that bottom row for all players in the lobby. Should be starting up on our first map of the match shortly. HR3, Precision Aim Control.
All right, let's get into it. First map of the match. We are finally in to the first pick here. Takes us a little while to get started, but we're into the first map of the match now. First pick for the United Kingdom, this Hard Rock 3, which was very, very close between these teams in both of their previous matches. Let's see if it stays that way, or if one of them is able to open up a lead. If you are the UK, you're hoping for it to be you, as Z9A and Z10A both find a couple of early misses here to start things off. Definitely the only FC early on for Austria-Hungary, but Mahmoud to trade out one of those breaks for the United Kingdom, as Listia and Haunt continue on with the double FC for the UK.
Yeah, Haunt to break, that was one of the big carries in this match. Last time, Listia to fall as well. It's just Defi with combo now. Mahmoud with a little bit of recovery to play as defense, but Gripple break on to Z9A. Z9A falls, and it's going to remain this 30k lead for Mahmood, who's still the only combo held. It's these speed quints that are going to be the main strikeout for a lot of these accuracies to this point. Recovery being built up, but Z10A still just not having the best of times. Gonna be allowing United Kingdom to build up to 150k before that double break.
As we keep moving through, just still the combo lead for the UK. Mahmood on that better recovery combo, and then Defi, as mentioned. Everybody else having reset at about the same time. There goes another break for Z10A, and the score lead has grown pretty significantly up to 240k in favor of the UK. Now Listia finding a break, but it is still Mahmood to hold the biggest combo in the lobby. As long as he is holding, there's just not a chance for a comeback, and I think we are just too far into the map at this point, with a 280k score lead for the UK. And despite not quite matching their previous score, they still outperform Austria-Hungary here on the first pick of the match. And actually, they may end up, exceeding their old score. Spoke a little bit too soon there. 1.6 million for the UK on that pick. And Austria-Hungary just not quite able to match up to their old score there. A couple 100,000 points behind where they were previously. And so going to be giving over that first map, but that is the first pick for the UK. So no harm, no foul, despite it being close on paper, looking at the previous scores for both these teams.
Yeah, big difference there. And maybe that was a part of that pick strategy, of course. You have those first map nerves. Gonna be picking one of these closer picks, make it a little interesting. In Austria-Hungary, their time to shine now, I would imagine something like the double times, of course, would be strong for them, as it was for the Brazil team previous. Of course, the double times this week being significantly harder than those free mods that were banned out, so maybe a little bit more difficulty there. Makes it hard to pick into, but I would imagine something like DT2 or DT3, just those tapping focus ones, would be just fine.
Does seem like one of those would be solid, especially missing some members for the UK. Players like Listia and Mahmood not necessarily known for the speed, and so something a little bit more tapping focused might end up being a very good pick for Austria-Hungary. And indeed they are going to go with a tapping focused pick. It's Darkflight Dreamer, this time mapped by Fairy, so a little bit of a different map, but it is basically just speed. There's not a ton going on here. 284 BPM and AR 9.9, so accessible in the approach rate, but not in the BPM. You have to be pretty well versed in that super high BPM DT speed to be able to be solid at this.
Yeah, this 283 BPM long burst check with a little bit of aim involved as well. Nothing too drastic though. It's going to be just that main speed focus for the long burst, but indifferent to the free mod 1, which was more stamina focused than this map. This map a lot more just finger control heavy, so going to be working out just fine for the Austria-Hungary side. And I wonder how Bubbleman's inclusion will change how this pick goes out, because Giotto was here in place of Bubbleman yesterday. Bubbleman not able to make it, so could make things a bit closer on paper with that added man.
I think it should be solid for the UK. That said, do see at the very least, yeah, we do actually see both Mahmood and Listia staying in for this. So despite not having super solid scores on it last time around, I think probably the best options remaining at the moment for the United Kingdom. Z10A, Fedora Goose, and Defi in for Austria-Hungary. And honestly, the score for Mahmood as well was only 5 miss, so could potentially bring that up quite a bit. With Listia having 13 misses yesterday, it's a little less likely, but definitely still possible as well for her to bring that score up a bit here. As for Austria-Hungary, they had 2 million team score on this yesterday. Fedora Goose got 970k on this, but only had 93 accuracy. So if he ends up not combo gaming in the same way as yesterday, his score can significantly drop down. And we see a couple of early misses coming through for both Fedora Goose and Defi to start things off here. Z10 the only full combo left for Austria-Hungary, the UK, with the accuracy lead with the combo lead to start things out on this map.
Yeah, likely to even out as it goes on, but not the greatest first burst for them, as it's a full break, whole screen breaking on that first long burst. And that accuracy suddenly will play a lot more of an effect with no combos being on the board. Everyone evened out once again, first quarter down. A couple of jumps and tail end, but it's going to be Listia and Mahmood on the final burst of the Ki. Z10A only one to trade. It's going to be 2-to-1 combos on the break.
This combo lead is going over pretty slowly, but there's another break from Bubbleman, and that is going to give the full combo lead, full team wipe actually, for the UK. Listia and Mahmood breaking shortly after Bubbleman there, and nobody on Austria-Hungary trading it out, and suddenly the score lead is over 150k now, with 3 combos still going strong on the recovery for Austria-Hungary, Fedora Goose, Defi, and Z10A. Now Z10A actually finding a miss on the aim right at the end of that Ki time, but 3/4 of the way in, Fedora Goose and Defi still holding these big combos, and the score lead still well in the favor of Austria-Hungary.
Yeah, Fedora Goose doing what needs to be done once again. Defi 1% ACK above him. Bubbleman to fall once again. At this point, it's done and dusted. 300 to 400k in the lead for Austria-Hungary. Fedora Goose to finally fall, but Defi is there to hold on tight to this lead. And once again, it's going to be the speed battle versus the gimmick prowess of the United Kingdom. Likely to see some hiddens upcoming. But Austria-Hungary first point on the board, 1-1.
Yeah, solid start for both of these teams. UK with a little bit more of the gimmick focus, Austria-Hungary with a little bit more of the tapping focus. And I think there's still some good options available for both of them here. The DT2 is still available for Austria-Hungary if they want to stay with the speed focus. As for the UK, a couple of tech maps still open. Nomad 4 still available there in that Nomad pool. And that's about it in terms of direct comparisons with the two maps that we've seen so far. So you're going to have to see a few different things moving forward for either of these teams. There's the kind of flow tech focus that I think would be pretty solid with the ban on Hidden 2 from Austria-Hungary if you are the UK. Stuff like the Nomad 2, the Hard Rock 2. Both custom maps could be pretty solid picks for them there. And as for Austria-Hungary, with both the bans from the UK focusing on tapping in general, UK maybe wants to stay away from the Nomad 2 and pick just into the Hard Rock 2, and Austria-Hungary, that Nomad 2 might be an available pick for them, but instead it's going to be the Fremod 4 for the UK, so going right into some of the variable flowing here. Lots of finger control, lots of kind of just weird patterns in this map with a lot of tricky flow aim, and this is also a swing map here for the most part, so that 128 BPM lies to you. I believe this is actually 192 BPM after double time, if memory serves.
For sure, plenty of 192 variable streams, couple 1/3 trickiness with the aim, and while mind mapping is the anti-mod pick, I like to call this the pro mod pick, with the Hard Rock being very comfortable on the CS 3.3 without any mods, and the Air 9.6 plenty fine on the Hidden as well. This was a map that was picked pretty early by the United Kingdom in their last match, their second pick, with a 1.4 mil team score, but I think with the finger control of Austria-Hungary, this may be closer. The flow in will be the main factor depending on comfort mods and the like. So it'll be interesting to see how they fare and play this in their last match.
All right, looks like both teams are ready. Z9A watching the timer for Defi, Z10A, and Fedora Goose, the actual roster here for Austria-Hungary. Listia Haunt and Bubbleman in for the United Kingdom once again on this Fremont 4 pick. Trying to keep things tied up, trying not to give over an early break point as we get into elemental creation.
Mods likely to remain the same. It's going to be Bubbleman on the Hard Rock in place of Schiazzo, who ran Hidden Hard Rock last time. Z10A on the Hard Rock, Fedora Goose on the Hidden, Defi no mod. And already, first few breaks going to be coming through Z10A, first man to fall, and a big ACK advantage for the UK. Not a very long map. This may be the shortest of the pool, only 145 in length. Z10A to fall again, Fedora Goose trading, and already a 125k difference between these two teams as all three members of the UK holding on to their combo first quarter.
Yeah, and this, it's mainly on the modded players, right? Fedora Goose and Z10A, the ones struggling the most on the side of Austria-Hungary. Defi actually doing very well there, still on the full combo with the Nomad, but the trouble is that there's 3 full combos on the side of the UK right now. Both the modded players still on those FCs, with Listia on the Hidden and Bellman on the Hard Rock. Haunt matching that FC from Defi on the Nomad, so there's just nothing that Austria-Hungary can do here. And this score lead is absolutely massive in favor of the UK at the moment. Haunt will finally go down. Listia will follow, but Defi trades it out. Fedora Goose also dropping. Z10A also dropping. It's only Bubbleman to hold through that pattern on the Hard Rock. And the only full combo left in the lobby for him as well, as we get into a little bit of these variable BPM burst sections here. Bit of a speed map for a second at that point in the map. But this is already well and truly over. It is an 850,000 and climbing score lead for the United Kingdom on this. They are absolutely crushing this pick. It's not quite going to be double score, I don't think, but it's damn close. Nearly 1 million team score difference and a 2 million team score for the United Kingdom on that pick. Just over 1.1 million team score for Austria-Hungary there. And yeah, there's an extremely clear difference in comfort between these two teams on this map.
Yeah, that was that was a little bit of a blowout. Bubbleman getting only the 7th Hard Rock FC on the map with that score. And immediately skyrocketing what was their previous score of 1.4 million. They did that halfway through the map, so plenty fine for United Kingdom. Very strong second pick for them. Now Austria-Hungary, once again, they have their pocket speed, stamina in the bag. That DT2 still available. Very hard map to get into, probably hardest map of the pool, just off of a raw stamina standpoint, and with those missing players, as mentioned, likely to come next.
Let's see what they are going into next. As you said, it's probably the DT2, but there are a couple of other picks still left available. Potentially the Nomad 2 for Austria-Hungary, although after that map, I'm not so sure about that Nomad 2 pick anymore. It's tough to see exactly what else they would want to go into aside from that DT2. Maybe some of the other double times as well, just DT1, DT4. But they're going to have to find something else eventually. For now, I'm going to stay with the double time 2. It's notch hell, but it's actually stamina instead of a slider map. Same song, different mapper, different set. And this one is pretty much all finger control in the first half, followed by lots of long streams in the second half.
Yeah, and players lucking out. Originally, this map was going to be in the qualifiers pool, so good showing, finally getting it in a bracket stage. And this just chock full of every kind of notes stack. You got your doubles, your quads, your quints, Gonna be constant 230 BPM long stream as well as kind of an old style flow-ish. Like, it's very awkward, the flow in this map. Kind of wiggly, kind of like snapping notes at the tail end of streams. Gonna be hard to get into if you aren't comfortable with stamina.
Just waiting on the roster lock-ins for both teams now. Z9A, Z10A, Defi for Austria-Hungary. Looks like Listia, Mahmoud, and Bubbleman once again on the speed for the UK here. And should be getting into it very shortly here. Looking forward to seeing how this goes, whether we're going to have a close match or not. I think largely depends on how well Austria-Hungary performs on this. If they can keep this pretty one-sided, I think we should be in for a decently close rest of the match. But if this is relatively close, it raises questions about how well they'll be able to do on the DT1, the DT4. And after that, you know, if you're going into other skill sets and down a breakpoint already, it becomes really difficult to bring things back. Austria-Hungary, of course, the underdog here, right? Seed 15, the 4-person roster. They've made it this far already into the top 8 alongside the UK, who qualified in seed number 8 for this tournament. So the expectations in this match definitely against Austria-Hungary, but other teams have already dropped to them now twice. Both Finland and excuse me, it just slipped my mind. Both Finland and Romania dropping to Austria-Hungary already. So definitely a team that can put up a solid fight on these pools. Early break for Z9A and Listia on basically the same pattern here during the finger control section of this map early on. Not much else to speak of, though. The accuracy relatively close, aside from Z9A struggling a little bit on the act during the finger control section here.
Yeah, just a little bit behind. Oh, but Defi, that's a big one. And Mahmoud to trade it as well. Those two combos fall. It's Z10A, the tapping specialist for this Austria-Hungary team, versus Bubbleman, the UK legend Z10A to fall. It's just Bubbleman first. Ki here, but that combo also faltering. 50k of wall between them, though. Gonna be having UK be hefty in the lead, especially with continuous breaks. It's Mahmoud's recovery combo to keep this lead up. Halfway point here, few long streams and the break. Combos, recoveries held. Defi just a little bit behind the crowd. Listia a little lower. It's Mahmoud's combo that needs to break if Austria-Hungary want a chance back into this.
Can they bring this back? They've got the combo lead for now, so it is going to start to come back their way. And that big combo on Mahmoud, if that drops for the UK, it's going to be very tough for them to hold on to the lead. There goes Z9A, and now the combo lead back the way of the United Kingdom. Both Bubbleman and Mahmoud ahead of both Z10A and Defi here. So the score going to keep on the side of the UK going into the last few stream sections here. But there goes Bullman. That's a big drop for the United Kingdom. Austria-Hungary now with Defi and Z10A. They have to hold through these streams, and they do. Mahmoud's the next one to drop on the side of the UK. And suddenly it's a three-way reset for the United Kingdom, and Austria-Hungary poised to take advantage. Z10A and Defi will finally drop those combos, but not before accruing a 190,000 score lead for Austria-Hungary. And it was looking close until suddenly it wasn't, Hubba.
Yeah, those final 800 combos were the deciding factor. Big ups to Z10A and Defi at the tail end, doing what they needed to do, and that is the story of this Austria-Hungary team. It feels like anytime they win a match, it's going to be this big team score. All players getting that 400k. Mahmoud trying his best with the 500k, but not having the proper backup. And even with that, big improvements to that team score. They got 750k last time, so United Kingdom on the up and up for the tapping picks. Just not enough to take out Austria-Hungary today. And immediately, knowing what they're going to pick, United Kingdom, not much discussion to be had there. It's going to be No Mod 5. That's the CS6 AR8 map that was banned against them against Brazil. So having a little bit more to play with today with that map on board. This was a map that Romania had actually banned against Austria-Hungary, which is surprising knowing that Romania low AR roster, you having Origin, Nanaya, and Badu there. So something to fear with this Austria-Hungary team, expecting them to do well on it based off of that.
Let's see how the UK does on this. They've already gotten a couple of gimmick maps out of the way. Opening up the low AR here would be pretty nice, I think. And this map being CS6, it does factor in a bit of a precision challenge. But I think a lot of the difficulty in this map comes from being able to read what is going on rather than being able to aim what is going on. Because a lot of the tricky patterns in this are more overlaps and finger control than they are the precision aim. So definitely thinking that this should be a solid pick for the UK, just off the fact that it is mostly that reading difficulty that matters in this pick. As compared to the precision difficulty. So despite it being multi-skill set, it does feel a lot more like a typical reading map.
Yeah, especially in comparison to those other low AR picks in this pool. Those picks being a lot more focused on the aim mechanics. This one, not so much, more control focused, more of that reading is required. And what a trio to do it on for the United Kingdom. Listia, Haunt, known for their reading prowess in many tournaments. Bubbleman, of course, the all-rounder, to have that third spot info. For Austria-Hungary, it's going to be Fedora Goose, Defi, and Z10A.
Map definitely starts out slow, but pretty rapidly picks up, and there's a lot of very easy places to break. Even during these slow sections, you can see the anti-aim control and the awkward aim catching Listia off during this intro section here. Get through the double taps for all of these players. Z10A the next to drop. Listia going to be breaking once again. It's Bubbleman and Haunt versus Fedora Goose and Defi. There goes Bubbleman and Defi alongside Z10A another couple of times. So Listia on the recovery, holding a little bit stronger for the United Kingdom than the recovery combos for Austria-Hungary. And there goes Fedora Goose, and that's the last FC down for Austria-Hungary. Now it's all on Haunt, holding the sole FC in the lobby, and how far she can bring this in the favor of the United Kingdom. Looking very, very good for the UK, though. Even the recovery combos on Listia and Bubbleman looking generally as strong as or stronger than the recovery combos for Austria-Hungary. So I think this is all but over already, unfortunately, for Austria-Hungary. Bubbleman will drop, but it's traded multiple times by Z10A there. And with Fedora Goose and Defi not able to match Listia and Haunt, the score lead continues to grow now up to almost 350k in the favor of the UK.
Yeah, Haunt has been instrumental in many picks like this. The precision and the low AR, her bread and butter. And once again, another carry to come through. 600k score, nothing to scoff at. Few misses at the tail end, but to be expected, being that main carry for the United Kingdom on this pick, going to be quite instrumental. No combos. It did get a little closer towards the tail end, but it closer being from a 350k lead to a 250k lead, so not too bad for them. and United Kingdom picks looking solid still, and now it is back to Austria-Hungary, who are out of speed. So it's going to be up to them to pick into something different, maybe something like the Nomad one if they want to keep up the high mechanics. Tyranny is more of a aim focus than it having any burst in it. Uh, Something like the Nomad 2, like you mentioned, of course, Free Mod 4 not really going their way, but Nomad 2 a lot less awkward than that map, maybe. More consistent with its BPM. A few options for them, but all of them dicey against such a strong United Kingdom team.
Yeah, definitely. And with how well the gimmick picks have gone for the UK, it becomes more and more difficult, I think, to think of some of the other picks in this pool that could go well for Austria-Hungary. And I think you're likely going for one of the remaining DTs, or I was going to say maybe the Nomad one or the Hard Rock one. And it is going to be one of those other basic mechanics maps in the pool, just the Nomad one. This is the Grand Finals Nomad one from Course Ace Open 2020. Hime Hime collab, mapped by Nana Abe and a few others. Pretty well-known map at this point. 218 BPM jump aim, the main focus on this. Does have a few streams and bursts, but players have gotten a lot better at speed recently, and what used to be a very stream-heavy section, or considered a very stream-heavy section, no longer really considered super stream-heavy, in part due to our sponsor at the 3-Digit World Cup, Wooting. Shout out to Wooting.
Shout out to Wooting. High quality keypads at a affordable rate. The team score for Austria-Hungary last time was 1.5 million on this map, with the one miss on Z10A being the big story there. 99% United Kingdom not playing this map last time, but Mahmood and Bubbleman to fill out the lobby. This kind of consistency pick has been Bubbleman's comfort for quite a long time. Likely to have similar rosters for the map. Fedora Goose running Timer Watch. To be swapped out by the usual suspects. It's going to be Defi, Z9A, and Z10A for the map. Austria-Hungary looking to keep up this tie game. Only their own picks have been won so far.
All right, let's see how this one goes for Austria-Hungary. Rosters are locked in for both of these teams. A couple of very good aim players on the side of the United Kingdom. Mahmood in particular, very well-known aim player in tournaments. So looking forward to seeing potentially how well he can do on this, and whether this might be the start of a breakpoint chain for the UK, or whether we're going to continue to see relatively close matches and close maps throughout the rest of this match. Austria-Hungary, they have looked good so far. It has been just successful pick after successful pick to start off the match, but getting to that halfway point here, 3 picks down for each team, and it's really at this point in a match where you start to figure out whether a team is running out of picks or not. And it doesn't feel that way for the UK, right? With all of the alt and tech left in the pool, it seems like they have quite a few options. But for Austria-Hungary, aim mechanics are so much different from speed mechanics that you do start to question a little bit if they are going to be able to continue to convert on these mechanics picks, because the style of map is almost diametrically opposed, right? There are tons of players who are extremely good on aim but can't play speed to save their lives, and vice versa. So whether or not they're able to convert on something like this remains to be seen in this match so far. However, off to a good start. Z10A the only break very early on for Austria-Hungary. A couple of breaks here so far for Mahmood and Listia on the side of the UK.
Yeah, first to fall, first PI, jump spacing getting a little bit harder. Listia to drop once again. Still no drops on the Hungary side though. 40k diff. Z9A to finally find the trade, but not going to be too bad. 2 major combos to about 1.5 with that Mahmood recovery. The accuracy still looking incredibly strong for this UK team. Won't name names, but gonna be fine to look at for the future. First quarter down. And still just Defi Z10A, nothing holding them back. If not for a little nerves, I mean, looking at Z10A, a little bit of shake on the aim, but not gonna cause any misses quite yet. C9A, once again, only combo to fall. Gonna be a little bit of a combo advantage to the United Kingdom now with Listia's 300 recovery. Second Ki to come soon. And still all held. Bubbleman, the SS, falls. Listia falls. And suddenly this lead is going to start skyrocketing. It's 900 combo on Defi. Shortly followed up by Z10A and only the Mahmood recovery for the United Kingdom. And still these picks looking strong for Austria-Hungary.
All right. And now we have a pretty decent combo lead for Austria-Hungary. Another couple of breaks to come through for Listia and Bubbleman. Z9A holding some of that combo lead. Defi on the FC still holding for Austria-Hungary. And that's the main player here for Austria-Hungary right now, as Mahmood currently on 950 combo, not quite 200 combo behind Defi on that FC with the reverse choke for himself. So can he hold long enough? If Mahmood breaks, it's all over for the United Kingdom on this map. And the same goes for Defi, but a little bit more support for the side of Austria-Hungary as Bubbleman and Listia continue to break. But there goes Defi, and Mahmood holds through this section. This could be huge. Is there enough time for this to come back the way of the United Kingdom? The accuracy on Mahmood is there, the combo is there, but there needs to be a little bit more support here in the last quarter of the map. Z10A and Defi fall again for Austria-Hungary, and this score lead is starting to come back. There goes Z9A as well. All the combos are gone for Austria-Hungary. How long can Mahmood hold this reverse choke? Can he bring it back with just a little bit of time remaining in the map? Listia will find another traded break. Bowman to hold just a little bit of extra supporting score for the UK at 60k, now under 50k, still in favor of Austria-Hungary. Mahmood continuing to hold combo with just about 30k left to go. 20k now. It's under 10k, and is it going to come back in time? It is. The United Kingdom with Mahmood to clutch it out and outperform everyone else in the lobby by a huge margin to give the UK a 40,000 score lead just before the end of the map and take the first break point here. It's a bit of a struggle for Listia at 350k. Even Bubbleman, you know, matching the scores from Z9A and Z10A, not going to be a defining factor, but Mahmood at 840k makes up the difference and carries the team to victory.
Yeah, and that was a map that was first picked by Austria-Hungary in their match against Romania. A team score of 1.5 mil, surpassed and overperformed by them, but Mahmood, it's his world and we're living in it. Slider break early, slider break at the end, doesn't matter. That 840k in the middle did the job. Very strong score, helping the UK get this first break point.
And we got a pretty much instant Hard Rock 2 pick for the UK after that as well now. Going right into Highway Hustler. And I like this pick a lot. It is flow alt, right? It is flow alt. But it's a lot of finger control in this map. It's a very gimmicky flow aim sort of pick. And at the same time, Austria-Hungary banned out the hidden 2. So the gimmicky finger control, the flow aim on Hard Rock, the fact that UK have already won another Hard Rock pick as well, showing, again, they're comfortable enough with the mod to win these sorts of picks, I think makes a lot of sense for them here. So let's see just how well this one can go for them. This map has a ton of really tricky, like 1/8 triples a lot of them play normally and are buffered by sliders. And then there's ones that do not get buffered at all, that are just standalone 1/8 triples with a 1/4 gap between the triple and the next pattern. So you're effectively hitting a 1/8 triple in the middle of a stream to hit those kinds of patterns. A lot of the time, because it's a slider right afterwards, it's very easy to just play those 1/8 triples as a 1/6 quad. So I'm looking to see which players are able to understand what the playability is for those patterns and adjust, or which players end up breaking on them. Because the last match I casted, there were a ton of breaks on those 1/8 triples in the first match of the weekend.
Yeah, definitely something to look out for. In the UK, they did play this match against Brazil, and it was a 5-way FC until almost the very end, until about 800 combo. They were holding on to FC's, a whole Brazil team. Green Malco, only one making it out unscathed with that full combo. So the Hard Rock consistency is there. A little bit of a roster switch out with Scouts being gone. It's going to be Listia taking his place. And it's seeming like a strong pick for the UK. We'll see if Austria-Hungary, with that Hard Rock comfort, can fill it out. Z9A, Z10A, and Defi, same trio, back to back. Good luck in the chat, and here we go with what may be a consolidated breakpoint for the United Kingdom.
All right, let's see if the UK is able to convert on this pick. It's already a consolidated breakpoint, right? They are up 4-2, but if you get to 5-2, that makes things significantly more challenging for your opponents. And if you're not going to be able to win this pick, then it just gives Austria-Hungary the opportunity to consolidate right back with their own next pick. So got to keep that consolidated breakpoint in their favor if the UK want to win this without going to tiebreaker. As for Austria-Hungary, they're really hoping to break right back on this map. And so far, so good for both of these teams. Couple of early breaks, couple of act drops for Austria-Hungary. There goes Z9A, though. That is going to be a bit more significant. Z10A, the last remaining full combo for Austria-Hungary, now also down. It's just Defi on the reverse choke, but with rough accuracy, 92%. The next lowest on Austria-Hungary is 96, and on the UK, everyone's above 98. There's finally a break to come through for Haunt on the side of the United Kingdom, but Mahmoud and Listia still holding either the FC or the reverse choke in the case of Listia, with 98 act for both of them, and that just means more and more score lead in the favor of the UK halfway through here, already up to a 300,000 score lead.
Yeah, looking very comfortable for them in this first going to Snap, surpassing that halfway point. Big combos. It's Defi versus the world. If Listia and Mahmoud find a break, well, even then, it's 400k now. I don't think he'd be able to bring it back on his lonesome. D9A does have a little bit of recovery there, but it'd take a disaster to change the scoreline, especially with this slower section now. United Kingdom all but have confirmed this consolidated breakpoint. But it is all eyes. Listia falls, all eyes on Mahmoud to see if he can close out the FC. He also falls. Haunt and Defi, only combos to remain during these final 10 seconds or so. Defi as well. No FCs for the map, unfortunately, but a strong 2 million surpassed for the UK on their Hard Rock 2 pick.
Yeah, very well done from the United Kingdom, and keeping that breakpoint consolidated, now up 5-2. Austria-Hungary, I think, with significant pressure to win this next pick. If you lose here and give over another breakpoint, suddenly it's match point, and the UK will have match point for 5 maps in a row. So, and that is tournament point for Austria-Hungary as well, right? Both these teams are in the losers bracket. So you lose here, you are eliminated from the tournament. So Austria-Hungary, this next pick, very, very important for them. Have to get it right. And, well, unable to convert on Nomad aim. Maybe they want to go back to the DT pool. Maybe they want to go back into something like the DT1 or the DT4. DT1 is still an aim map, right? Still aim consistency, but high AR, high BPM at 255 could be something solid for them. There's also the DT4, which is mostly finger control at a relatively high BPM, only 216 though. So both of these a little bit less speed focused than the remaining DTs that Austria-Hungary has won so far. And again, Austria-Hungary only having one on the DT2, DT3, the options are a little limited, right? Nomad 1, I think, a big part of the reason they lost that was the Mahmoud pop-off. So if you're picking something in the DT aim category instead, might go a little better for you. Just depending on the overall comfort level of your members, as that's how they've won the majority of their points, right? How about you said it earlier, for Austria-Hungary, it's mostly about the overall team consistency rather than an individual member popping off, whereas United Kingdom has gotten a couple of points with those pop-offs so far.
For sure, and something that's shocked me about the UK's picking strategy in this match, the hiddens have remained untouched the whole time. And that could be a side effect of no Schiazzo and Bubbleman not wanting to play it, but I do find that interesting in Austria-Hungary. Not going to be taking that bait, though. It is DT1 pick for them. The high kill cap aim is going to be here. AR 10.5 as opposed to the 10.3 standard, so a little bit of a barrier to entry if you aren't comfortable with those higher approach rates.
All right, and looks like we're going to see Fedora Goose waiting on the timer for Austria-Hungary here. Not sure if he's staying in or not. Fedora Goose definitely could play this. So if it is going to be Z9A, Z10A, Defi, I think that would make sense just with Fedora Goose staying in here, but I wouldn't be too surprised if we see Fedora Goose actually play this as well. It does seem like we might get a swap in for Bubbleman here on the side of the UK. I would expect it to be one of Listia or Haunt. Not sure which of them is less comfortable with this kind of high approach rating DT aim.
Probably Haunt.
It looks like they're rolling to decide who leaves the lobby, so it is going to be Haunt leaving. Yeah, Listia stuck in for the high AR DT aim.
Awaiting that third member now between Z9A or Z10A. Z9A makes it in. Goose at this point I think is just going to be in, probably. Waiting for Bubbleman to hop back in the lobby so we can clear out this aim pick. Austria-Hungary backed against a wall. DT1 being the move. DTs have had success for them, but very different styles of DTs. We'll have to see if the aim is the play.
All right, looks like we do see Fedora Goose staying in here for Austria-Hungary, so a little surprising given they have had somebody sit to watch the timer on some of the previous picks, but again, not all that out of left field given that Fedora Goose, very good DT aim player, and generally a solid DT player as well, so not super surprising to see him come in for this in spite of going against some of their old strategies from earlier on in the match. Early break for Mahmoud, early act drops for Z9A and Defi on the side of Austria-Hungary, but Bubbleman also down at 93-94 accuracy here for the UK, so not going to result in a score lead for either side at the moment. There's misses for both Fedora Goose and Listia, and so Defi and Z9A on the double full combo, a little bit ahead of Bubbleman and Mahmoud with that reverse choke for Mahmoud, that early break. Bringing down the combo just a little bit, and another miss comes through for Listia. It is going to give over more accuracy as well. Listia now down to 92. Fedora Goose does find the trade and drop the accuracy a little bit more, and now they are tied up in the act just about. But overall, the accuracy better for Austria-Hungary, 98-97 for Defi and Z9A, and there goes Bubbleman and Listia once again. And this pick, Hubba, I think, is working out very well for Austria-Hungary. The high AR, high BPM DT1 looking very solid for them during the first half of the map.
Yeah, and this was a pick that they had against Romania that once again, it was just that single player diff. It turned them getting that FC to take the point away from them, but looking very consistent this time around. Just quick panic, waiting for Bancho to catch up to us, but I'll have to see if Z9A and oh, it's Listia gone. Well, we'll probably get a screenshot of some sort, assuming it wasn't a full-on crash, but Z9A and Defi to continue holding on to that combo, and it is Listia score being a crash. So, unfortunate for the United Kingdom side with Mahmoud still holding on to combo, but with the way this map is going with two FCs being held, I don't think it would have made too big of a difference. Defi to fall finally, but Z9A still holding on to this FC score lead, growing, or his specific score growing to well beyond 900k to this point, and likely to close out the FC now. A fantastic showing from Austria-Hungary. And that will be all but confirmed. Z9A with the 1.1 mil FC. Fedora a little bit 3-man, but that's okay.
Yeah, and really, Listia is not getting to 800k on that score, right? That's just not happening. So it does not really matter, unfortunately, for the UK there. Austria-Hungary just gonna take that. And yeah, Listia even herself saying, I did not have enough score. It's just not gonna matter there, unfortunately, for Listia. So Austria-Hungary, fortunately for them, it not mattering means there's no question about the winner there. They are just going to take that point fair and square and move on to the next pick for the United Kingdom. Now, Austria-Hungary, they do still have to take a break point at some time in this match, right? They're still down that earlier break point. It's still 5-3 for the UK, but they've gained back a little bit of momentum, a little bit of direction for this match. Okay, high BPM aim, high AR aim, that's good for us. Maybe we go with the DT4 next. Maybe we go into the Hard Rock 1, right? Something a little bit more mechanics focused, and that at least opens up a couple of picks for the end of the match here. The UK, however, they still kind of have pick of the litter, right? They're going to go with the Hidden 3, which I think is good. They've seen the ban from Austria-Hungary. They've seen how they did on the Nomad 5, and they've said, you know what? Yeah, let's do some more low AR, because clearly Austria-Hungary not super solid in terms of competing with the UK on this skill set.
Yeah, and with that free mod 3 ban, knowing the this low AR aim is gone, it's gonna be a little bit tricky with this one. This map a lot more volatile. We saw a lot of misses come out from both sides when this was played against Brazil in their last matchup. Only a 200k score lead for them, which with the roster of Haunt, Sciato, and Whiskey on a map like this, you would expect like that lead to be a bit higher, if not a little bit of an underperformance. So we'll have to see if the United Kingdom with different man, Sciato not being here, will change anything. Austria-Hungary left this map over that free mod 3 with intention, I would imagine. So Fedora Goose hopping in, that hidden comfort for the Austria-Hungary side. And speaking of that hidden, I mean, good to finally see a hidden played, but that hidden one might be a good pick for them in the future with that hidden stream comfort. And with the free mod 2 being banned, I could see that being a pick for Austria-Hungary next up. But I have to see how this goes first. United Kingdom trying to solidify that match point.
Alright, Dorgus, Z10A Defi, Listia, Haunt, Bellman. Definitely preferring the roster for the United Kingdom on this one. Listia and Haunt in particular, very good low AR players. So you expect them to win this, and you expect them to get to match points. Let's see how this goes. Fedora Goose hyping himself up. I am a hidden player. I swear it. I will do well on this hidden map. Surely. Surely it works. As we load into the hidden 3 here.
In we go, the
This map-
story of this map being plenty of square and geometric aim. First combo to fall for both Wistia and Z10A. So, likely to not matter too much. This map, like many in this pool, around that above 2-minute mark. Defi to trade it though. But Bubble Man and Haunt versus Fedora Goose. Fedora Goose, he is the hidden player for this team. We'll have to see how long he holds on.
A couple of early breaks again there for Fedora Goose, and the two-way full combo for the United Kingdom. Haunt and Bubbleman right now holding strong. There goes Haunt, so now it's just Bubbleman, and there he goes as well, but not before the UK accrued a 250k score lead. And another miss comes through for Defi. That's all the combos down once again for Austria-Hungary. Everyone under 100 combo for their side right now. Actually, everyone under 100 combo in the lobby at the moment, as every single player finds miss after miss during the end of this first KI time. And, well, despite it being relatively straightforward as a low AR pick, that doesn't mean it's easy. There's still plenty of places to miss here, and this awkward geometric pattern aim with AR8 hidden, especially on 198 BPM, can be very dense and very difficult for lots of players to deal with. And so that 300k score lead for the UK, it's going to take major work to bring back, and with only a quarter of the map remaining, not even a quarter of the map remaining, I don't know if it's going anywhere here in this last quarter. We'd have to see an insane pop-off from Austria-Hungary and the UK to just absolutely flop, and that just does not seem like it's going to happen.
Yeah, very similar showing this map. Based off of what we've seen score-wise, probably one of the hardest of the pool. So much volatility and misses coming through with the velocity changes on a lot of these jumps, but going to be the tournament point confirmed for United Kingdom up against Austria-Hungary. Will the Cinderella story end here for the Europeans? But their final pick potentially is up next. We'll have to see what that option is. Of course, for high BPM aim, they still have that Hard Rock 1 for some kind of extreme stamina. The hidden one is available, although on paper United Kingdom preferred on hidden. Nomad 2 as well, still on the board. I would imagine, I mean, their 3 points were all on DTs that they picked. I mean, if I'm them, I'm picking DT4 and hoping for the best just for that comfort, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I'm thinking DT4 Hard Rock 1, and just go for the comfortable things. Just go for the things that make the most sense based off of how this match has gone so far, right? Pick the mechanics. Pick the speedier stuff. Pick the more straightforward picks. Don't go into something like the hidden one, as we've seen, you know, the hidden 2 ban plus the hidden 3 play out, and hidden generally not a skill set that Austria-Hungary seems super comfortable with, or not a mod that they seem super comfortable with. Obviously, Nomad 2, very tricky. Nomad 3, super high spacing alt. Nomad 4, relatively tech focused. Not going to be something that I think Austria-Hungary wants to pick here. So the last 2 picks really seem kind of set in stone here for Austria-Hungary. Which one do you want to go for first? Hard Rock 1 or DT4? You're going to have to pick both of them if you want to get to tiebreaker and win this match. So, going to have to be one or the other here to start things off, as it feels like the remaining Nomads and the last hidden just are not going to do it for them. But it is actually going to be Nomad 4 here for Austria-Hungary. I was not expecting this pick from them.
Neither was I. I do think, in their defense, this is like a very slider aim focused Nomad 4. If they are looking to continue with aim, and the overall scores for the United Kingdom weren't fantastic for this map. This was a map that, once again, the United Kingdom won due to a last-minute pop-off from Listia getting that final 800 combo in the map. Brazil had it all but won until that tail end, and I don't believe. Oh wait, no, it was played, and it was a 1.4 million for Austria-Hungary. So on the head-to-head, that is a 200,000 plus lead for Austria-Hungary on this map. We'll have to see if that comes to fruition once again, with this being their potential final pick.
All right, Fedora Goose, Z10A, Z9A in for Austria-Hungary on the Nomad tech pick. Listia, Haunt, Bubbleman looking to close it out here, take a break point, and win the match 7-3. Be done with the semifinals weekend and move on to the top 6. Let's see if Austria-Hungary can keep this match going. Bring themselves into the next pick for the UK. This is a map that has a lot of really tricky stuff early on, and then the last TI time is relatively easy in comparison to some of the beginning and middle of this map, but it also has a very long intro. So first combo breaks are going to be a little bit more impactful in this map, and last combo breaks are going to be very impactful in this map as well. If your last combo break is relatively early on and you hit a lot of the ending, you can get a significant amount of score back on this. So let's see how this goes for all of these members. A couple of early act drops here. Listia, Bubbleman, Z10A dropping a little bit of act here at the start of the map, but not much gained for either side.
Yeah, this being one of the longer maps of this pool. I mean, as mentioned with that head-to-head, on paper, every member of Austria-Hungary performed higher than a member of the United Kingdom on this map when they played it yesterday. So, if you're them, backs against the wall, gotta be feeling good about your chances here. All combos held before our first ramp up section. Big buzz sliders, nobody falls on them. And you have a lot of these slider triples that can be tricky. You have to have very precise accuracy to not lose too many slider ends on those or break on that buzz slider. It's very close scoreline still. A 1 to 10k difference. C9A first combo to fall. Gonna be flickering back to that UK side. Oh man, to trade it. Few spaced quints in tow. That break being on the buzz slider just released a little bit too early, which can be really tricky for your timing of a lot of these notes. Still 14k in the lead for them. Listia, Haunt, Fedora Goose, and Z10A. The people to look out for. Big back and forth jump section. Haunt on the buzz slider is combo lead back to Austria-Hungary when they needed it the most. Back and forth slider recovery combo on Z9A, and it is looking good for them at the 1/3 mark. Final combo down. Listia, Bubbleman both trading with Z9A, but that's not the big combo. It's Z10A and Fedora Goose to hold on once again, surpassing that 1k combo mark, and 80k of score lead coming along with it for Austria-Hungary.
Yeah, these combos for Fedora Goose and Z10A are massive, and they are bringing this to their side. Very, very solid first half of the map here for Austria-Hungary, and I'm a little surprised, honestly, given how the Hard Rock 3 went. A miss there on the slow section for Z9A. Not going to help them too much, and there's a miss on the slider following for Fedora Goose. So now, all the big combo on one user, just Z10A, holding the FC for Austria-Hungary here. This is a massive score still for him. Almost 3/4 of the way in now. coming up on this ending. If you can hold through this next section and make it to the last drop, again, that last drop, the combo in that section is relatively free in comparison to a lot of the rest of this map. And so Z10A, if you can hold here, you can guarantee victory for Austria-Hungary, but there's a lot of Hungary players on the other side, on the United Kingdom, ready and waiting to pounce if you do drop the combo before this last section, because all of them have pretty decent combo on the side of the UK here. But Z10A is able to hold, Fedora Goose and Z9A hold alongside him, and this score lead continues to grow in favor of Austria-Hungary, who look to put a 4th point on the board against the United Kingdom in the semifinals. This is a very good team score for Austria-Hungary. And finally, Hubba, it's no longer the team consistency for Austria-Hungary, but the pop-off score from Z10A, bringing it home for them. Look at him go, man, still holding this absolutely massive combo into the end of the map here. 2,000 combo for Z10A, looking to finish out the full combo on this map, and is going to do it as well. 97 AC on the FC for Z10A on this No Mod 4.
The shake coming through on that final slider. Z10A, you did your job. It's a 4th point on the board for Austria-Hungary. Backs against the wall. We doubted them, but the pick came through. 1.8 million, 888 score for Z10A, and Fedora Goose not to be messed with as well. Another S rank for him, the 1 miss on Z9A. And United Kingdom upping their score last time, but not going to be enough. United Kingdom, it is back to the hiddens. Hidden 1 has been selected. And we are back to another custom, this one by 8 Tier. This one featuring plenty of stream flow. A lot of spacing on this map is just like even, straight up 190 BPM. This is more on the density check with this flow aim. Consistent spacing on both the jumps and streams. Could be looking for your hidden comfortability.
That said, I am a little surprised at this pick. I was expecting something like the No Mod 2 or the No Mod 3, not this hidden 1. Not because the UK is a bad hidden team, quite the opposite in this case. They've been advantaged on hidden. They won the free mod as well, the one free mod that was played so far. But because this map is extremely straightforward, this is just aim and bursts. And so, yeah, you know, it is hidden. It's AR 9.2, but it is as straightforward as it gets in this hidden pool, which means it feels a little odd to see a lot of to see a lot of confidence put into this hidden 1 pick from the UK, because Austria-Hungary, they've been at best contesting, or at worst contesting, at best winning every other mechanics pick in this pool so far. So I'm a little surprised to see this pick come out. I really expected something a little bit more gimmicky, but I think it does still make sense, right? They are the better hidden team in this matchup. This is still a pretty density-focused map at AR 9.2 and 190 BPM, so it does still make sense. Let's see if the mod comfort is the true defining factor here for the United Kingdom.
Yeah, and even with that, Fedora Goose, his bread and butter when it comes to solo play is these kind of hidden stream maps. The SR for a mechanics pick in this pool is kind of low, 7.05 in comparison to something like the No Mod 1, which was 7.6 stars. That lower SR going to be helping Austria get a little bit of a buy-in to this map, and like you mentioned, it's the mod comfort, but Defi and Z10A definitely serviceable. You have the hidden trio, Listia Haunt with the hidden comfort, Bubble Man filling 3rd here. And we'll have to see if that hidden comfort comes to fruition. United Kingdom, match point.
This has been a good match so far. Let's see if Austria-Hungary can make it even closer. Defi, Fedora Goose, Z10A in to try and take a break point and keep the run alive for the only 4-person squad left in the tournament. UK, however, in this match, also playing with only 4 people, right? Listia, Haunt, Bubbleman, and Mahmood, the only ones who are here for this match. And so it's 4 versus 4 really in this match. And so it's gonna be, it feels like it should be this close on paper with both squads only having so many people. Early miss for Z10A, probably not going to impact too much, but does give over just a little bit of score to the United Kingdom to start this off. Let's get Bubbleman Haunt still on the full combos, but same goes for Defi and Fedora Goose. Z10A definitely seems struggling a little bit on the reading, the accuracy dropping quite a bit for them, down to that 95% mark, but a couple of act drops here for Bubbleman and Haunt as well. It's really all down to the misses during these PI times, but nobody finding a drop so far on any of these streams or jumps during the first PI time. There goes Bubbleman. That's one of the big drops for the United Kingdom. Now suddenly combo lead in favor of Austria-Hungary, with Z10A ahead of Bubbleman on the recovery combos for both of those players. Into the 1/3 now, still double full combo intact for both teams, and just a little bit of combo lead for Austria-Hungary, but the accuracy keeping things close, keeping them on the side of the UK for now, and finally the score swaps over, but there goes Defi, and that's one of those FCs down. Fedora Goose falls right afterwards for Austria-Hungary, and suddenly it's 2 full combos to 0 for the UK.
Yeah, horrendous timing there for the Austria-Hungary side. As soon as that scoreline flickers, the Curse of Ra strikes Defi and Fedora Goose. It's only Z10A now on that reverse FC. Listia Haunt still looking incredibly comfort. As you mentioned, the hidden comfort players striking again, but that snap double at the tail end of the burst. That's one FC down. It's 140k of buffer. The score lead is going back to Austria-Hungary side, and with both of those breaks, it's a slight combo advantage for them on the Z10A recovery. If Listia falls, there is a chance here. Defi is trading it as well. It's going to be close in this final quarter if Listia does not hold on to the FC.
Yeah, Listia needs to hold here for the UK to be able to win this, but on the opposite side, Z10A also needs to hold for Austria-Hungary to have a chance at a comeback here. And really, I think the same goes for Fedora Goose. Defi finding another break there. It is matched by Bubbleman, but it's all on Listia here. As long as she holds, there's no way that this goes back in time for Austria-Hungary to take it. There's the slider break for Listia. Fedora Goose misses immediately afterwards. Is the combo lead big enough for Z10A? I don't think it is. There's only so much of the map left, but there's another miss for Haunt. Wait, this could go back now. That miss might have just traded it over.
Oh!
But no, Z10A will find a miss right at the end of the map, and that is going to seal it up. Austria-Hungary so close to extending this match by one more pick, and yet the United Kingdom will end up taking it regardless on their own final pick, 7-4, 124k in their favor. That's all they need. 800k from Listia and 617k from Haunt. Those two hidden comfort players doing the work to bring the UK over the finish line with those big scores. GG well playeds are out, and that is it for Austria-Hungary. But they had a hell of a run, a 4-person roster getting into the top 8. We saw that a couple of years ago, I believe, in 2023 with Team Italy was a 4-person roster getting pretty decently far into the tournament. But it's been a year since we've had a run like this. And Austria-Hungary, they make it work. They make it into top 8 and far outperform their 15th seed from qualifiers. The UK, on the other hand, seeded in top 8 from qualifiers, make it into the top 6, outperform their own seeding, and now make it into the finals weekend.
Yeah, and with that as well, I mean, doing it, as mentioned, without their full roster every time. I mean, they've at least been missing one player for every match they've played. Yesterday, they were missing Bubbleman and Easy Champ. Today, Easy Champ and Schiazza. So, hard straights for the UK team, still making it work out, still trudging along to outperform that seed. And with perfect timing as well, we're going to be transitioning into the next matchup. Also, probably a commentator switch, I would imagine, for the United States versus Germany, which is happening in just a short minute. But before we switch on over, do you want to talk about anything regarding sponsors, perchance, Dio?
We definitely can. 3-Digit World Cup 2025 is sponsored by Wooting and Acrid. You all should be pretty familiar with Wooting by this point. Keyboard company that makes some of the best rapid trigger keyboards and keypads on the market, and is partially responsible for the huge uptick in speed players that OS has seen in recent years. So If you want to see what all the hype's about, use the code associated with 3-Digit World Cup. Exclamation point sponsors in chat, I believe, should give you the websites for either of those. Acrid as well, if you want to outfit your tablet and make it look nicer, get yourself a nice tablet cover in the EU. Acrid will ship out some high quality tablet covers to you as well. Thank you to both of those for sponsoring the 3-Digit World Cup. And last but not least, if you feel like it, you can also donate to the 3-Digit World Cup. You get a cool supporter banner to rep your favorite team, just like in the OS World Cup, that you can display on your profile in the Me section or in the banner up at the top of the page. So go ahead and check those out if you want to contribute to the 3-Digit World Cup prize pool and to the ability for the 3-Digit World Cup to get things like original songs commissioned for the tournament. That is everything for us for now. Congratulations once again to the United Kingdom on securing a spot in the top 6 in losers bracket, and congrats again to Austria-Hungary for a hell of a run this tournament, making it into the top 8. Hubba, thank you for the cast. Rob, thank you for the stream. Discord, thank you for the ref. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back in just a minute, and actually I think just going to switch right on over to the United States versus Germany in the winners bracket semifinals.